And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Another live stream here. I'm in Las Vegas, live streaming at 9:02 a.m. Pacific time. How is everybody doing? It's Andrew back again with another show. So we had a show yesterday. I don't know if a lot of you caught it yesterday. I wanted to make up for missing it last week. I had to go to San Diego last week to take my son, or rather pick my son up from camp, actually. And it was a nice little getaway. And then, so I couldn't do the live stream, but I was able to do it yesterday. I know a little bit of short notice, but I wanted to see if I could just squeeze one in, and we did. The replay is on my channel for those that didn't catch it. Go ahead, check it out after this live stream. We talked about the HP Pavilion Arrow 13, a really nice mid-tier laptop that has an all metal design. It's actually magnesium alloy design. It has a really nice full HD plus display with a 16:10 aspect ratio. It also has really good specs. It's running a good CPU. It's the AMD Ryzen 7 5800U, a really good processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM. It also has the integrated Radeon Vega 8 graphics. So really good stuff. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and go over to my channel. It is live there. We may, if we have time today, we may even look at it again, a little bit of a brief preview. I will drop that video on it probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll get it done today, but I'm thinking tomorrow or even Tuesday at the latest. But anyway, I want to say hello to a few people. Good to see Rafael Perez, who is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. We have Ernesto Giron, who's here as well. Good to see you. Waiting for this Dell to make it right with this. Well, they certainly got a lot of it right. No chin face camera. Not on this model, my friend. Not on this model, but it does have its issues with the camera. We'll talk about that in a moment. We've got Shayras Rao. Need OLED for the XPS 17 next year. Yeah, we'll talk more about that, but there's no OLED 17-inch made by Samsung right now, which is who makes these panels. So maybe next year we'll see one, who knows. Still a 720p potato webcam. You know what? The more I think about it, it's not a huge deal, and I'll tell you why. Good to see William Cohen. Once again, you caught us midstream yesterday. I'm glad you were able to at least check us out there. Looking forward to another great live stream. As good as these Dell XPS PCs look on the live stream, there is nothing like seeing them live in the store. Beautiful display, if anything else. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Really, really nice displays. I mean, some of the best in the business. There's no question. The XPS line is amazing. Good to see Duck Vision, our moderator and member as well. And we have Jan Henrik. How are you, my friend? Good to see you back again in the live stream. And I don't know about the king of tech, but that's really certainly nice of you to say. Good to see you again. Good to see Steve once again in the house. George, 2 days in a row. Good to see you, my friend. And we got Than once again. Behave yourself, Than. Dell Paradise. Yeah, well, we're going to talk. I have a few things I want to say on this laptop and some of the reaction I got from my video. And let's see who else. Dell has the best displays. Yeah, they have very good displays. We're going to get into that. All right. So we said hello to everybody. Let's check out to see how many people we have so far. If we put in the view count, let's see if it actually works this time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to do it a couple of times. So let's see, take it off, take it on again here. Maybe second time's a charm as usual. We got 38 of you watching. We only have 19 likes. People, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get this spread out over YouTube. Really helps out the algorithm, because the way it is right now, it's hard to get views as it is, and they bury these things, so you want to do it. Good to see you, Robert. Good to see you, my friend. Happy you're here. George, we already said, glad to be here. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too. So yeah, I dropped a video on the Dell XPS, and we can look at it here on the bottom screen. You have the two panels there. You got the overhead shot, and then you have the side shot here. The Dell XPS 179710, I dropped that video the other day. I think it was on either Thursday or Friday. I don't remember. But anyway, it's doing okay. We're closing in on 10,000 views. A lot less excitement over this for some reason than the Dell XPS 15, which I did. And I understand that. Look, the Dell XPS 15 has an OLED display. It comes in the white. The Arctic white seems to be very popular. It's a beautiful looking laptop, of course, in that color. But the Dell XPS 17 has a lot going for it, especially the size of the display. The fact that they're putting a 17-inch display in a 16-inch laptop body, and that's a pretty amazing engineering feat. They did a great job on it, and you can see it here. Really beautiful UHD plus touch display, the Infinity touch display, micro bezels on it, of course. Really gets bright. It's a 500 nit display. It's an HDR 400 display. It covers the color gamut really well. It gets good color accuracy on it, really great color accuracy, actually. It's a great laptop if you're a content creator who does Lightroom, Photoshop, video editing, color grading. It's perfect for that. You know, that's the positives going for this laptop. Now, of course, some of the negatives, and we'll just go over them real quickly and we'll talk more about it, of course, is the fact that you get a lack of ports on this. Now, you do get 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, as I went over in the video. You get a Kensington lock port. You get a full-size SD card reader, which you don't get on the MacBooks anymore. Maybe, who knows, someday it'll come back. But at least here, for the content creator that really are looking at this, these are people who create with these laptops. They're going to love the fact that this has a full-size SD card reader. Let's not underestimate that. It's really good. Now, the other thing that this has, as far as thermals are concerned, is vapor chamber cooling. Now, I opened this laptop up in my video. So again, for those that didn't see it, when I'm done, I'll drop a link in the below, or go over to my channel when this is done. You'll see it. It's there. As far as the vapor chamber cooling, it's actually working pretty well. They will notice thermal throttling on this. Not too bad, actually. The fans are tuned so it's not too loud. They're pretty quiet when they do kick in. But the vapor chamber cooling does a decent job. It maintains good speeds, even though it does lower the clock speed to lower the temperature so it doesn't overheat. Let's keep in mind, people, number one, this is not a gaming laptop. And number two, this is meant for content creation. So if you keep that in mind, you can play games on this, but know the limitations, know what this is and what it isn't. I think people go into this thinking this is a gaming laptop with those kinds of thermals. That's not what this is for. If you're thinking this is a gaming laptop, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to be upset. Now, I got a lot of comments on my video, pretty negative on this, against Dell and against Intel. And really not surprising, because the way the atmosphere is right now with the hate towards Dell and Intel, really unwarranted. The performance, as you saw from the numbers, was very good. So I'm thinking this is a really good choice, again, for that content creator that wants something that will be portable, that you could take with you, that gives you that screen real estate. It's a beautiful 17-inch display. It's portable for a 17-inch laptop, as I mentioned. It's pretty light. Really, there's very few negatives on this. Now, again, the ports, you're going to use the dongles. They include one in the box. So I think that you're looking at one of the best laptops of the year when it's all said and done, because it really checks all the boxes. It looks great. And of course, that's being superficial, but it does look great. You got that carbon fiber deck here. You've got the small bezels. You've got really great sound out of those quad speakers set up. They're really some of the best on the Windows side. Not quite as good as the MacBook Pro 16. And you really are getting everything you'd want. Now, of course, you're paying a premium. There's $3,000 for the way this is pretty much much configured, a shade under 3,000. But you're getting the RTX 3060 GPU, and it's definitely good for gaming, Simon. I agree with you on that. You're definitely getting a lot for your money, although it is a lot of money. But then again, this is their flagship laptop. And, you know, Apple charges an arm and a leg for their laptops at a high premium, the top of the line. And you're going to pay a price. You know, I paid $3,100 for my MacBook Pro 16 2019. Here, you're looking at $3,000 for an equivalent, right? So, and actually more updated specs on this. So you're looking at something that is a flagship. So expect to pay to play, right? I always say, if you want to play, you got to pay. So this is the case where if you're a creator, this is a good investment. And at least in my opinion, if you're in the Windows side of things, there you go. But thermals, we're going to test thermals today. I've got my Prime 95 stress test on here. We're going to run that. We're going to monitor the temperatures on it. And again, you'll notice some throttling on it, but keep in mind, again, this is not a gaming laptop. If you want a gaming laptop, there are great choices out there from Asus, from all these other brands, from Alienware or whatever, from Razer. There you go. Now, we got Duck Vision here. The carryover AMD craze is obnoxious. Yeah, I'm getting tired of it. And I talked about this yesterday, for those that didn't catch it. 11th Gen Intel 8 series are just as good as performance as the AMD 5000 series. I agree. Plus, a laptop with no ports need Thunderbolt. Yeah. First of all, you have to have the Thunderbolt on here, and you cannot put an AMD processor on the Thunderbolt. Good to see Mallory. How are you? Good to see you back here. We missed you. And then, but putting an AMD Ryzen on this is going to be not possible for a couple of reasons. One, Thunderbolt is a definite need on a flagship like this. Number two, they're not sourcing these in scale. In other words, AMD cannot meet the demand that something like this XPS line will command. Intel, on the other hand, even with this shortage, is able to get these out. I don't think AMD can scale up to that level of amounts. So there you go. Battery expectations on this, you're looking at about 7.5, 8 hours, depending on what you're doing. Again, in mixed usage. So there you go. So that's just a recap of what I've seen so far. We're going to test some thermals in just a moment, but the other negative on this, of course, is the webcam. It's not great. We can take a look at it here. Let me go here. And I could show you on here. The fact of the matter is they put a Windows Hello camera in a very tiny bezel, which is pretty nice. Let me make sure it's clean before we start looking at it. I'm wiping it down right now. So not very good, right? Not very good, as you can see there. But then again, my take on this is this. Look, it'll definitely be good enough if you need to get something done in a pinch. It's not going to be great. You can see it here. But the mics, the internal mics, by the way, sound really good. Good noise compression, good noise cancellation on it. They did a really good job considering how tiny the bezel is on that. They were able to put a Windows Hello. You can log in with face recognition. But I think you're better off investing in an external webcam for Zoom calls and stuff like that. And I think that's the trend we're going to start seeing, because it's hard engineering-wise to put in a tiny camera in such a small bezel. So, you know, so you're looking at really limitations there. But having said that, are there any other negatives to this? Not really. This is probably one of the best laptops we have here right now. Really, if you're on the Windows side of things, you want something to do color grading, to do Photoshop, content creation, video editing in Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve. You know what? I'd be hard-pressed to find something better, because this has a RTX 3060 GPU. The numbers are good. I showed you the numbers, some initial benchmarks, and there you go. Boot up time is fast. Everything is fast on this laptop. I haven't noticed really any slowdowns. It does throttle down under extreme heavy load. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, and we'll take some of your comments and questions. I know I'm a little bit behind. The other thing I want to talk about is this issue of the battery drain that was plaguing last year's model. Now, I read an article on notebookcheck.com saying with their review unit, they have not noticed any of that issue here this time around with the 9710 that they experienced on the 9700. So it seems that Dell has figured this out with the battery drain, and what we're talking about is it comes with a 130 watt power adapter. It's a USB-C power adapter. It's not a proprietary kind of connector. And then what happens is the battery drain, it can only do 100 watts limitation of USB-C, even though it's 130 watts, and it draws more power, and therefore you get a battery drain. We don't have that on here. I haven't noticed it. I think they've remedied it in whatever way they did it. I didn't notice any battery drain. Notebook Check didn't notice any battery drain. I don't know what people are saying on Reddit. Everybody says Reddit, you got to go here. People jump to conclusions. People want AMD on this. It's not happening, folks. This is what we have right now. We're in a chip shortage right now. We're not going to get AMD on it. I wish they did. It would be nice to have it as an option in tune with the Intel as well. I don't see that happening. Good to see Constantine here. Windows Hello isn't useful when you're wearing a mask. Yeah, I mean, those are things you just got to take into consideration. And the other thing is there is a fingerprint scanner on here. It's the power button. It doubles as the fingerprint scanner. It's right there. And you'll notice it works well. So if you're wearing a mask and you don't want to have to rely on face recognition, you don't have to. And that's a good option to have. All right, let's take some of your questions, and then we'll get to some of the thermal benchmarks. We'll start doing it right now. Correct. I guess you're talking to me. I don't know. I'm Leto di Assisi. Hi to everyone I watch from Italy. How are you? My buongiorno, my friend. Andrew, when do you think to receive the Lenovo X1 Extreme Gen 4? So that's a good question, considering we're going to probably put these head to head. Well, at least to the 15, actually. I expect to get that from Lenovo hopefully mid-August, so in a couple of weeks. I hope to get it. It's supposed to be released then. At least that's what they're saying. I am looking forward to that on paper. It looks like a really good one this year. Move to the 16:10 aspect ratio. I think they're putting a 3080 in there as far as the GPU. As far as the thermals, they're moving to a vapor chamber cooling, similar to the XPS 17 that we have here. A lot of good specs on paper. The question is as execution. There's no OLED option, unfortunately, this time around. Again, we'll have to see how this all plays out once I do get a review unit into the studio. Now, the keyboard is, and I talked about this, Mallory, in the video. The keyboard is really good. I really do like it. Now, there is no numpad on this. The XPS line doesn't have numpads. They're not gearing towards the business user. They're gearing this towards a content creator, commercial, could be a content creator that is doing commercial stuff, but as well as consumer stuff, high-end prosumer consumer stuff. No numpad, but you do get some really good top-firing speakers on the top. Those are the tweeters. On the bottom is the woofers, and I got to tell you, really rich sound. It's really good as far as that's concerned. Speaker sound is good, Raphael. Keyboard, good key travel, as I mentioned. Multi-stage backlight. It just really checks all the boxes. So there you go. Now, as far as let's do some testing on it. Let's get a few more questions before we get to that. And we just talked about the speakers, Mitron, and I got to say they are not quite as good as the MacBook Pro 16, which I have here. You can see I'm live streaming on it as usual with Ecamm Live. Not quite as good as far as the speakers, but I'll tell you what, as far as Windows are concerned, it's got to be up there as one of the best. Really, really that good. Loud, good mids, good bass, sounds rich and full, fills up the room rather nicely. It does a good job. And Jan Hendrick is saying, enjoying the party. Yeah, 2 Olympic gold medals in Italy, right? Nice, good for Italy. By the way, these are the first Olympics I watched with only streaming Eurosport and Discovery Plus with 200 minute internet connection. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And Italy rules in the Olympics. Good for you guys. According to William, when you look at the Dell 9700 series was just a prototype for the 9710, they worked out a lot of the original problems. Yeah, and that leads me another thing, William. They fixed the trackpad issue. Remember last year, at least on some of the 17s and the 15s, you had some loose trackpad, inadvertent clicks on it, really causing a lot of consternation, a lot of negative publicity for Dell. They fixed this. I don't have any of the issues that we had last year. I did not experience it, even though They did give me this review unit. I don't have it on my 15 either, which I purchased with my own money. So, take it for what it is. Now, people are going to be angry at me over on my video where they're commenting, oh, on Reddit, they said this, on Reddit, they said that. You could take Reddit with a grain of salt. It is a good resource, but they're negative, a lot of negativity towards Dell, unwarranted, and sometimes it is warranted, but I don't think it's warranted in this case. This is a great laptop so far, and of course, I'm going to give you my full review in a moment. Well, not in a moment, but this week, and you will see that this is a great choice, especially if you're doing those content creation things like Photoshop, video editing, color grading, stuff like that. And as far as enjoying media on this is a fantastic display. It's an HDR Dolby Vision display. It's an HDR 400 that's bright. It's great for watching movies, Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube. It all looks great. It all looks great. Yeah, Reddit can be a cesspool at times. Love from Pakistan. Good to see you, my friend. Use a mouse, better for gaming. Yeah. No pen support, Jan. Not that I'm aware of. There's no pen support on this. I haven't really tried it, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. I know there isn't on the clamshell 13 either, or the 15, but I'm not sure. I don't believe there's any pen support. Razer support, we're not talking about Razer right now, but they're pretty bad according to a lot of people. I don't know. I've reviewed their stuff. I like it. We'll see if we get some more stuff in. According to Furcan, I had the 9700. But had to return it due to the constant thermal shutdowns. I got the 9510 as a replacement. I'm loving it with the OLED screen. So you got the 9510, which I have here also, and I did some live streams. I, of course, did my unboxing and review videos. So there you go. Can you let us hear the speaker sound? I'm not set up for it right now. If we have time, maybe I can put another microphone on the top camera and we can get a top down, but we'll see. All right, so let's go over to this. Let's go to this shot right now. Let me load in the CPU monitor. And let's put this over here. We're going to test some thermals. And again, I'm going to expect some thermal throttling on here. Because again, thin and light chassis is definitely what you're going to get. Right now, we're looking at 47, 48 degrees with the maximum of 62 degrees Celsius. Remember, this has the Core i7 11800H. It has the RTX 3060 GPU. Then we're going to go into Prime 95. That's going to really push the limits on this. And we'll put that over here. So you're going to hear the fans kick in. It's on ultra performance right now. And we can go here, and then we can go here. I can put myself down here. And right now, it's starting to kick up. So you can see it'll turbo blue. It'll get up to 100 degrees Celsius, as you see here. And what you're going to see happen is, let's move this down a little bit. See, it's like I can't even move the mouse. Hold on. It's doing its thing. Right now, it's at 100, but I got to scroll down. And I hear the fans kicking in right now, but I can't do anything. It's really maxed out right now, so I can't even move the mouse. So you see what I'm talking about here. We'll get to I would like to make this smaller. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. There we go. Temperatures right now on the GPU, this is not the CPU, is now 68 degrees. That's not too bad. But we want to go to, here we go. So the processor right now, it would go up to 4.593 gigahertz. And then right now it's at 3.4. And we're at, as far as temperatures are concerned, we're looking at 100 degrees Celsius right now. So it's at a maximum right now. And at 3.5. So there you go. So it's going to hit 100. I don't know how long it's going to stay at 100. This is pretty interesting. 3.4, 3.5 is pretty good. It's maintaining a pretty good speed, but it hit 100 degrees Celsius. My guess is it's starting to go down here. Here we go. It now went down to, see what it did? It throttled down to 72 degrees. And we're looking at anywhere from 1.7 to 2.8. So you see what happens, the clocks ramp down as the temperature gets cooled down. And I'm hearing the fans. The fans, by the way, are not too loud. All right, let's take some of your questions while this is going on. Would you recommend this for architects? Yeah, I would recommend this, but there's also the Precision line, which might be better for you in terms of what software you're using. The Precision 5760 or whatever they're using this year, the equivalent to this. It looks pretty much the same, but it might be better for professional work. So there you go. Maybe I'll be getting one in. Is the GPU on the 9710 limited in wattage like the 9510? No, I think this is 90 watts. Or 70 or 90, I don't remember. I think it's 90 watts, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody please correct me. I think the 3060 on this, according to Dell, was 90 watts. In fact, I can look at that. I can show that. I can maybe show that to you. I have the reviewer's guide here, and I can tell you right now, and here it is. Hold on, I'll tell you. Graphics, 70 watts. I'm sorry, 70 watts. So it's an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 with 6 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM, 70 watts as far as that is concerned. So again, not a gaming laptop, but it's definitely better than the 15 if you want a more horsepower. This is a better GPU, that's for sure, than the 3050 Ti. We have, I don't even know how many we have watching right now. We have 86, but only 55 likes. What's going on, people? What is going on here? Right now, it's looking at about 2.5, 2.7 gigahertz, and it got down to about 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. So it started out at 100, and it went down. So you see, that's what happens under heavy. This is under max load, by the way. This test really pushes it to the limit. And there we are. So right now it's over 3 gigahertz, and it's fluctuating between 2.5 to 3 gigahertz at 80, 81 degrees Celsius. And I think that's what you can expect. And that's good. That's fine. It doesn't go much further down than that. And the performance was good. I showed you some numbers on the games. Games look good, my friends. The 3060 works, playable frame rates. Again, disclaimer, this is not a gaming laptop. Just keep that in mind. All right. So while that's doing that, let's take some more of your questions. Let's get those likes, people. Yeah, please, because look, we're only at 61 likes, and we have 87 of you watching. All right. Does the 9710 use the 130-watt charger like the 9510? Yes, it's the same charger, 130 watts, pretty compact. Look at my video on both. You'll see it's the same, except the Dell one is white to match the finish on that one. So there you go. We got our first super chat of the day, and it's from our good buddy, Jan Hendrick, or Jan Hendrick. I'm pretty sure you probably pronounce it like that. 10 euros. Thank you, my friend. I love that Editor's Choice logo. Thank you. Yeah, it took a long time to develop that. It's not that easy, actually, but I appreciate that. So thank you, my friend. That is our first super chat of the day. 9700 uses 10th gen chip. The 9710 uses the 11th gen Intel chip. That is correct. Shreyas. Yeah, no, these are good numbers, by the way. And, you know, let's go back over here. These are good numbers. Yeah, you can see it here, and we can go right here. Right now, it's at about 2.5 to 3 gigahertz. It goes going up and down, but it's maintaining in that range. And you're looking at about 85, 86 degrees Celsius. And that, to me, is fine. I don't see it getting overly hot. On the bottom, it does warm up. Let's go here. It does warm up on the bottom, and nothing overly hot. A little bit warm on the top of the keyboard over here below the display, but nothing really hot. I think the vapor chamber cooling does a decent job. More so maybe than the Dell XPS 159510, which uses a more traditional cooling method. Take a look at that video. But that also did okay. Look, these are not, and again, I don't mean to beat this like a dead horse, but this is not a gaming laptop. This is more to content creation, to create things, video editing, Photoshop, Lightroom. This is what this is going to be good for. Of course, you could do Microsoft Office, email, web browsing. You could do all those things. It's pretty great for that. But there you go. All right. All right, let's get some more of your questions. So you like my Walston saying you like my content, keep up the good job. Well, man, I thank you so much. That's really nice to say. You can use this on the lap. It's not too hot. I mean, it definitely gets warm. It definitely gets warm. I don't know. Maybe it'll get a little bit hotter, but I don't know. But right now, let's take a look at where we are. It's now ramped up back to you're at 100 again. Look at that. It went back to 100 and now it's starting to go down to about 2.5, 2.7. So these are pretty decent numbers. It's not going down too much, but again, expect thermal throttling because you're going to have to cool this down. Otherwise this would overheat and therefore you'll hear the fans. By the way, the fans, again, like I said earlier, not too loud. That's pretty good. So there's a balance here that Dell has to make. You don't want the fans too loud where it interferes with your work. At the same time, you need to cool this down so it doesn't overheat. And therefore, it's a balance. It's a balancing act. All right, let me get some coffee here. 88 of you watching. Can I do the keyboard typing sound? I could probably do that. Let's just get through this test. And then we'll give it a few more minutes. But yeah, it goes up to 100. I mean, you can see here, it definitely goes up to 100. In terms of Celsius, so it reaches that max, and then it'll start to it'll throttle down. Package is showing 40. It's capable of looking according to this. The power is 65 watts. Right now, it's about 50 watts of power that it's outputting. According to this, you can see the numbers right there. We can move to that, and you're seeing this is a live thermal test right now of the Dell XPS 179710. I'm using the Prime 95 stress test, and we're monitoring the temperatures, we're monitoring the CPU speeds, we're monitoring the clock speed and everything that goes with that and the power that it's outputting. And what you're seeing here, it'll go up to 100 degrees Celsius maximum, and then it'll go down to about 80, 81 at about anywhere from, I would say 3.2, maybe 2.5 to 3.2 in terms of gigahertz, in terms of the clock speed. And that's what we're seeing here. That's what we're seeing here. I'm glad, Fat Panda, you enjoy the reviews. And by the way, those of you watching, you can watch this I'm in 1440p. It streams in 1440p, 60 frames per second. But when the replay seems to just go down to 30 frames per second. I don't know why it does that. If anybody knows the reason for that, let me know, because I can't figure that one out. I need to research that. But right now it should be good. 1440p. You can see my beautiful face. And we're looking at this beautiful laptop right here, which is the Dell XPS 179710. Yeah, you're looking at 100% coverage of the color gamut. I showed you the numbers in the video. I think I did, right? Yeah, I did. 100% across the board. No, it's not 100% across the board, but very close. In the high 90s, mid to high 90s on all of them. We're talking 100% sRGB. You're looking at, was it 96% or something like that? Adobe RGB. You're looking at 91, 92 maybe higher on the P3 wide color gamut, and then of course NTSCs, I think 95, 96. But these are just outstanding. If you're a color grader, if you're a content creator, you do Photoshop, Lightroom, video editing, and Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, you're gonna love this. And Furcon is saying the Dell Premium Plus support is excellent with next day on-site repair service. They also offer accidental damage, including in their support service here in the UK. That's pretty good. Now, we got 85 of you watching, but we only have 72 likes. People, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get this spread out over YouTube. Come on. Let's get this. Let's turn this thing around. Come on. I need your help. Do me a favor. So Fat Panda likes, again, the stream quality is excellent at the moment. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm hoping, knock on wood, the bandwidth maintains this. So right now it's at 85, and we can go back to here. Right now it's on 85 degrees Celsius, or 87, 88. And now it's about 2.5, 2.0 to 2.5 or 2.1 to 2.5. You know, it's fluctuating. And that's to keep the temperature from overheating the laptop. And again, it keeps going to that 100 degrees Celsius. Vapor chamber cooling, people's in here, unlike the Dell XPS 159510. There you go. Thank you, Fan. That's a really nice thing to say. There are some great, there are some great live streams on YouTube. This for sure. What do you think is better, 4K or 3.5K OLED? Well, this is the 4K, right? So my take on it is this: they're both great. Now they both have their pros and their cons. Now the pros on the IPS display, you can get a brighter display, and you'll do better on battery life. The negatives on the IPS display, it's just not quite as sharp, even though they did a fantastic job. So this is probably some of the best IPS displays on the XPS line I've ever seen. Having said that, that OLED, the 3.5K OLED on that 9510 model that I have, it is outstanding. That's how good it is. It's hard to show it on a video. I did my best. You have to see it in person. That's how good it is. Now, having said that, the IPS display, if you want the better battery life, you'll still do great. Great coverage of the color gamut, great color accuracy. You'll do great on it. So they're in a win-win situation. I like the OLED. Now, the negatives of the OLED, again, not quite as good battery life, and you're going to have potentially screen burn-in, but I haven't had any screen burn-in. All right, we got another super chat from Strong Nerd. $4.99. What IBM ThinkPad is comparable to this model in terms of size, screen, battery, etc.? Can you do a versus video? So I would think the closest we would get to this, and then this is a 17, but really the 15 would be the equivalent, and that would be the ThinkPad X1 Extreme Gen 4. And we're going to hopefully get that new model into the studio in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned. That is going to be great. And you can sort of compare it to this, even though that is a 15-inch display. This is, well, actually, I think they're moving to a 16-inch display on that. So let's take a look at those. We can even compare this, the 15 and the 17 with that new Lenovo model. That's going to be interesting from the ThinkPad line. So hopefully I'm going to be getting it soon. Hopefully they're not delayed. As soon as I get it, you know we're going to go hard on it, man. We're going to go right to it. All right. Have you tried running the 4K display at 1920 by 1200 with Intel's new integrated scaling option? I know, blasphemy. No, I haven't done it, but maybe we should try it at some point. I don't know if I could do it right now, but we're still in the middle of this test. Want to give a good 15, 20 minutes on that test. Really see where we are at the thermals. Right now, 84, 85 degrees Celsius, and then you're looking at about 3 gigahertz. Not bad, not bad. Again, let me make this clear, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, as I said. This is not a gaming laptop. If you're looking for that kind of thermal performance, you're going to want to go to a gaming-specific laptop that are tuned for that. This is more for content creation. This is more for productivity work, in a sense. So you really are not looking at this as a gaming laptop. Now, having said that, you can play games on this. I showed you some of the numbers. Very playable, obviously very playable with that RTX 3060 GPU. Now, that is a 70-watt GPU. They limit it to 70 watts. Still better than that RTX 3050 Ti that we saw in the 9510. How is the size of the Dell XPS 17 compared with other 17s? I have upstairs, and I probably should have brought it down. I have the LG Gram 17 from last year. This is a pretty small footprint. Now, I did show in my video, to give you an idea of the scale of things here, I did show the 15 on top of the 17 and then the 13, XPS 13 9310 on top of that. So it gives you an idea of the footprint of the 17. So if you haven't seen it, again, check it out. It's over on my channel. All right. So we got 83 people watching, 86 likes. That's a good, pretty much 1-to-1 ratio. That's pretty good, people. Thank you. So let's keep it up. Fat Pandas was wondering, since I have a YouTube Premium, do you still get paid for views since ads are taken out with the premium subs? That's a very good question, Fat Panda. Yes, I do get money from Premium. So if you have YouTube Premium, which I do, by the way, you don't get any of the ads, and I can never go back to the ads, even though I make money off the ads that YouTube puts on my videos. I can't watch them. So yes, I do get money from the premium. So I do make money, and that's the way to compensate the creators. And it's a win-win, really, if you think about it. You don't get to watch the ads, which is good, at least I think it is. And then you also get also compensate the creators. So yes, I do get money from the YouTube Premium. Not a lot, because not everybody has YouTube Premium. How is the battery life compared to the XPS 15? I think the 15 got a little bit better battery life, slightly. But again, this has a bigger display, and don't forget that 15 that I have has the OLED panel, which will not do quite as well in battery life. So I think actually this did better. Well, now this is about 7.5 hours. Let me compare the two. I still have to compare the two. On every vid I watch on YouTube now, YouTube blocks ads, but I know I didn't buy ad blockers. I don't know if you have an ad blocker. Ad blockers are not good. If you want to help support your content creators, I know the ads are annoying. I agree, but I can't control the ads they put on them. And if I don't put them on there, if I don't allow them, I don't make money, and therefore I won't have a channel. So I have to balance that. I try to do very few. You notice I don't hardly do any sponsored videos anymore. I don't put any ads in my video, like paid ads. I'm trying not to do those things. But again, I got to balance, keeping the lights on versus the being able to give you content and so forth, and not making it annoying. One has to remember that many gaming laptops have displays with higher refresh rates for obvious reasons. That's a very good point. I would hit the like button more than once if I could. Thank you. I appreciate that, William. Yes, that is a great point, William. This has a 60 hertz refresh rate. Again, this is not a gaming laptop. I'm going to beat this till the sun comes up. I'm telling you, this is not a gaming laptop. So those of you who are treating this like you're going to buy this and play this for 12 hours straight, you're not going to get the refresh rate on this. You'll get some good performance, but you're not going to get the refresh rate. It will throttle down because that's the design, the thin and light design. So just understand that. If you understand what you're getting with this, this is a fantastic laptop. Take some time before this 9710 XPS 17 is on sale in Finland or even Scandinavia. Pre-order in Germany, last year's model, on great discount now. You can get it for 2,500 euros with a great setup. Yeah, no, that's a great point. And Jen is right. If you want to save some money, you don't want to spend $3,000 or whatever, euros. You want to go with last year's model, of course. You do see a performance improvement, and I'll show you in the upcoming full review over the 9700. You'll definitely see a performance improvement. The RTX 3060 is a definite improvement. The Core i7-11800H is a definite improvement over the 10th gen processor. So I will show you all that in that upcoming video. We're almost at 45 minutes. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fat Panda, watching my videos. And that's the way you can help. Now, if you want to help financially, of course, there's a membership here. You can hit the join button below. There are 3 tiers. Super chat, super stickers are all there. You also can support by watching the channel, right? Give me the watch time, subscribing, sharing the videos on social media and stuff. So that all leads to channel growth. Go ahead. You go do that, David. I was talking about that. You go ahead, David. How does it compare to Mac Pro 16? Okay, so they compare very well. Here's the thing. I have and you can see it here, I have the MacBook Pro 16. It's running the Intel 9th gen Core i9, and it has 32 gigabytes of RAM like this, and it also has a discrete GPU, the AMD Radeon Pro. I don't remember what it is. I can look it up over here, but bottom line is this is already getting a little bit long in the tooth, believe it or not. The thermals on this are not great. This thing gets really hot. The fans are really loud on it. It kicks in. Now, I'm waiting for the upgraded 16-inch model that hopefully that they're going to announce maybe this fall, that will have a new model that will have the updated chipset, the M1 or M1X or whatever it is, Pro, whatever version that is. And I can't wait for that. So I would like to see how that would compare before we can judge them. Right now, I would say the Dell is better in a lot of ways because it has a more modern chipset. It's got an 11th gen Tiger Lake processor, 8 series, 8 cores, 16 threads, and it also has a better, more modern GPU, which is the RTX 3060 from NVIDIA. So there you go. So it's hard to do it. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I'm flabbergasted. $100 from Robert. He purchased the Lenovo P17 workstation, i9, 64 gigabytes, DDR4 RTX 3000 series, based on my review, and I have to say it's a bad mama jama. Wow, it rocks. Yeah, I'm glad you like that, man. I'm glad, and wow, that is a very generous $100. People, give it up for Robert. He just saved well, we are in the new month, so he started off the month in a good way. Yeah, so that is a good one. The P17, a mobile workstation from Lenovo, and really, really is good. Great keyboard on that, great power under the hood. I can't agree more. I think it's a great choice. For those that didn't see it, check out the video. And thank you, Robert, for such a generous super chat. Yeah, I agree, Duck. It's great. The P17 tank purchase. That thing's a tank. That thing is a tank. I have it here. I still have it here. I use it every so then when I need that extra oomph. I go to that. The Lenovo ThinkPad T15G Gen 2 with Xeon 4K Touch OLED and NVIDIA 3080 is the best laptop on the market. What did I do? I just did one. I did the T15. Did I? Oh, they did I don't know. I did the P14. I can't even keep track of what I'm reviewing anymore. Plus, I'm old already, so I'm losing my mind. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Man, that's great, man. Thank you, Robert. That is super, super generous. All right, where are we? We got 87 of you 93 of you watching. That'll update soon. We got 93 watching, 93 likes. So we got a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's pretty good. All right, let's check in over with our test here. And let's see where we are. We're now at 86 degrees. Well, now it's ramping up, 90, or now it's back down to 80. And we're about 3 gigahertz or so. So I think we've got the idea here, right? I think we got the idea. You're looking at it'll turbo boost to 4.593, which is pretty high. It'll reach 100 degrees Celsius in the core temperature. It'll then throttle down anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 gigahertz. That's my takeaway. And it'll be a more comfortable 80 to 86 degrees Celsius. Not overly hot as far as the external temperatures, the surface temperatures. Fans not overly loud. I think there's a nice balance here. I think the vapor chamber cooling is doing its job, and I think we're good with this. And Jan finally got his PS5 with the great Olympic spirit. Right, there you go. All right, I'm going to turn off this. If I could ever get control of this laptop, I'm going to turn off the Prime 95. But right now, it has a mind of its own. There we go. Let's turn that off. And let's turn that off. Okay, there we go. We're back to square one. So thermals, people, I gave it to you. That's what it is. Take it for what it is. Good laptop. All right, now, here's another good point. I brought this up in the video. What is upgradable, and as far as the RAM, we're going to talk about the RAM. We're going to talk about the SSDs. There are 2 SODIMM slots for the RAM. There are DDR4 3200 RAM, and they are, my unit has 32 gigabytes, 216 sticks. Now, good news on the XPS 17. It's the X8 version, not the X16, which you find in the 9510. Apparently, here we get the X8, which is the faster. So you get a few more frames per second with this one than you would on the X16. So that's been pretty good. SSDs, this can support up to 8 terabytes total of SSD storage. 8 terabytes total with 2 slots. We're talking about 4 in each slot, 4 terabytes, which is pretty good. Let me get some coffee here. And Robert's really liking that P17. It really is a beast. You got some power under the hood there, my friend. With all these different type of laptops, it's easy for anyone to lose their mind. Yeah, I can't remember with so many Lenovo, especially. I don't remember what I have here, what I still need to review. I still have the E14 I got to review. I did the T14S, or the P14S. I think I did the T14, not the S, right? I don't remember. Again, go to my channel. It's all there. All right. Where are we? We're at 50 minutes. Is the XPS, Mark is asking, is the XPS 15 suitable for browsing, programming, somewhat gaming workload? Yes, definitely. Great choice. If we could bring it on to the live stream here, we can bring on my 15-inch. And we have it right here in the frost white with the Arctic interior. Let's bring it on to the stream. Let's unhook that for now. Let's unhook that. And here we have the 15, and you see the Dell logo. Not everybody loves the Dell logo. And there we go. Let's get it booted up. Isn't that a beauty, though? Now I know why I got more views on this one. This is an absolute gorgeous laptop. This is the Dell XPS 15. Well, again, not me. I'm not the Dell XPS 15. Dell XPS 15 9510. It's got that glass woven interior. It's rock solid, and it doesn't show any fingerprints whatsoever. It is a pretty gorgeous laptop. What else can I say? Which color is better? Well, I like them both. Having used both now, I gotta say they're both good. They're hard to pick. Hard to pick. So for those joining us late, this is the 9510. We just took a look at the 9710. I will have my full review on that dropping this week, so stay tuned. You like the white keyboard. Now, the downside for the white keyboard is that this is a white backlight, LED backlight. So it's hard to get that contrast sometimes. It's hard to see which key is what because white on white. It lights up white on white. So it's not the best solution when it comes to that. However, this does look fantastic. It does. All right. Now, does Dell have thermal issues still? Okay. Fareed, how are you, my friend? No. Well, thermal issues in what way? Does it have thermal issues? I just showed, if you rewind, I just did the thermal performance on the 9710. Now, this is the 9510 I just brought on. This one has pretty good thermals as well, and I showed that in the review. So check it out if you haven't had the time to do so. Check it out. Good to see you, Fareed. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Haven't spoken in a while. I had an issue with my XPS 9500 fully closing vertically. Do you have that issue with the 9510? Well, let's take a look. So he's talking about closing it vertically. So you mean it doesn't close all the way? So if I can get it into focus. So I don't have any issues. This is a perfectly closed laptop. In fact, let me go to this camera. Which one is it? This one. Okay. So I don't see any issues with that. If it would stay in focus, I don't see any issues with that. So to me, it's pretty good. I still got to get a skin for it. All right. Because it does get little micro scratches. White versus black keyboard, key contrast versus fingerprint magnet. That is a great point. So the benefit of the white is, of course, no fingerprints, but keyboard with the backlight, not the easiest to differentiate. With the black carbon fiber deck, on that one, you're going to have more fingerprints, and you'll notice more stains on the glass touchpad, which is a little bit harder to clean, I guess. But you can clean it. Just there's a trade-off on either one. Nice and large trackpad for 15-inch. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. If you notice the keyboard on the 15 and on the 17, and we can move this out of the way. And, of course, I dropped my remote. All right, give me a second. All right, we lost. It hit something, and now I got to figure out how to get it back. Hold on. This is very interesting. So, cut. All right, there we go. I'm back to business. Sorry about that, folks. It hit a button on here, and I had no idea. If you see black, maybe it was better that way. I dropped my remote for that back camera there. All right. I was about to do something. Oh, I want to bring up the black keyboard, I think. I think that's what we're doing. So you can see the difference between the two. And I'm going to probably have to zoom out. So this is the difference. When you're looking at it, you're going to see. And we had the lock button. Remember, we had it on to clean it. I think it was the Dragonfly Max, right? Wasn't that the one? All right, so this is the difference. So this is the black versus the white. This will show more fingerprints. This has a more rubberized feel to it. It's pretty comfortable, I got to say. This is a more textured feel to it. Actually pretty good as well. Yeah, sorry about that lost video, people. I figured it out. It's with that A10 Mini here. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, it's not that. It's this. So I hit a button on this, which is my hello, which is my switcher. And I couldn't, there's so many buttons, it's hard to figure out what does what. Is the trackpad smaller than the MacBooks? I have one right here. I'm doing it right here. You can see the size is pretty big here. Move that up. The size is pretty big. And then if you move here, you can see pretty similar size. I think this MacBook might be a little bit bigger, but these are pretty nicely sized, as you can see here. I don't have them yet. I anticipate getting the 5560, so let's stay tuned on that one. I don't want to give an opinion until I have it. Yeah, everything is back to normal. Sorry about that, folks. It happens when you're doing stuff live. Buttons get pressed that shouldn't get pressed. S happens. You know what I'm saying, right? So there you go. I don't want to get demonetized, but maybe I should use the S word. Or the F word sometimes. All right. Could you please share? So I already did that. Okay. So where are we? We're at 96 people watching, or 96, 105 likes. Hit that like button, people. I appreciate it. Fareed is asking, what do you think of the Dell pulling their Alienware lineup out of California since they draw too much power from what California permits? Yeah, I read about that. I don't know if it's, I know it's affecting the Alienware, right? And I think it's affecting, is it certain monitors as well? But I don't remember. I got to look more into that. If it does affect it, that's not great. You know, it is what it is, right? Awesome live stream. Got to run. Have a great week. Yeah, thank you, Robert. And thank you once again so much for that generous super chat. Thanks. And everybody give it up for Robert. Thank you. All right. Is the RTX 3050 worth it on the XPS 17? I would go, I would rather you get the 3060, to be honest. I think you're going to do better because the difference is you're going to get 4 gigabytes of video RAM, the GDDR6 video RAM. And I think that one, according to the spec sheet here, is, and let me go here. That one has, if we go to graphics, so the two graphics option, 3050, 4 gigabytes of GDDR6, 60 watts of power. This one has 70 watts, and it has 2 more gigabytes of video RAM. And that's going to make a difference, so I'd go with that. Love my review. Thank you, Jack. Love it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fareed, Duck Vision and Frida Talking shows you Dell sat on their hands since these rules were well known for years. You know, I got to look more into that to know the exact machinations of that and why it's here politically as well as on a procedural level. But yeah, I mean, it's not good, but I don't know if they're making too much out of this. I don't know. I got to read more into it. Fat Panda says Jay's 2 cents has been doing a few videos on the new power standards lately. Quite interesting. Yeah, I got to check that out. That sounds like something to check out. All right, Raphael's right, people. Let's get those likes up. It's we got 90 of you watching, and we want to make sure this gets spread out. Let's move that up a little bit. Okay. All right. We got some love from Pakistan. Did I say Pakistan? Pakistan. Good to see you, my friend. Got a lot of supporters in Pakistan. Appears monitors that support NVIDIA's G-Sync use 14 watts on standby and will not pass requirements. Yeah, I thought I read something as well as about the monitors. I'm going to look more into that. Maybe we can do some more on that. If you have to buy a docking station for the XPS 17, which would you recommend? I have one from Dell that I'm using right here. I don't know if you could see it here. It's sort of hiding behind this laptop. But and let me move this. There's actually a Thunderbolt dock here. Let me see if I can get it over here. Okay, so if you go here, and that's just probably as far as I can go before this thing gets bent and then I lose it altogether. And it's hard to see it, but there it is. It's right here. And I don't want to move anything because I have a lot of things that are connected to it. But it's from Dell. And it's it definitely would be a good choice. Thunderbolt dock. I've had it for a couple of years now. It's actually working well. They may have a new one. I have two of them, actually. They work really well. If you want a dock, we should probably do a video on that. I'm surprised this year's XPS line didn't get 5G support. It would be nice to be able to make these laptops and take these laptops anywhere. Yeah, I think they're keeping that for the Latitude line. You can get 5G on Latitude. We've done videos on it. And that seems to be the trend with these more consumer commercial stuff. I don't see any of them having that. Having said that, I believe, I didn't even know if it was an option on the Spectre. I know it was an option on their business line as well. So HP's done the same as well. And Lenovo, of course, we know with their ThinkPad line. But nothing on here on the XPS line as far as 5G or even 4G. Dell should include a really quality sleeve for premium price. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like the way HP does that. That's a really nice value, and HP does those kind of things. And so does Asus, by the way. They throw in a nice sleeve as well for no additional cost. Dell, not so much, but Dell gives you that dongle, which you're going to need. So I guess in some ways they really owe it to you to do that. But no sleeve. But you can get some, there are some accessories you can buy from Dell as far as a sleeve. I actually have one here. It's in my bag, which is a pretty nice one. And then, of course, you could also go to third-party options as well. Dan Gebb has noticed that the RTX 3060 on the F17 takes longer to ship in California September 1st. Is there a chance this could ship earlier than the estimated date? Yes, because I actually ordered, well, maybe. I ordered my XPS 15, remember, and I showed you in the live stream, I showed you in the video. I ordered it, and they gave like a month ship date out, like 3 weeks or almost 4 weeks later. They shipped it like 2 weeks later, not even 2 weeks. I think it was like 10 days from the time I ordered it. So there is a chance that you'll get it sooner. I think they did a good job. So they gave you a pretty conservative estimate, and then they actually did a better job in getting it out. So you might get it earlier than expected. So hopefully, knock on wood. But you never know. Again, supply demands are an interesting factor in all this, as we are in this shortage right now. All right, we've done this for about an hour, a little bit more than an hour. We've got 92 of you watching. We got 114 likes. This has been a really nice live stream so far. We're going to probably wrap it up soon. Also, live stream, excellent info as only Andrew can do it. Thank you, my friend Raphael. Once again, really, really good stuff that you contributed today, and I really am appreciative of the support. You got it, my friend. If we ignore the high temperatures, this laptop is almost perfect. Again, you have to understand, this is not a gaming laptop. If you're looking at it as a gaming laptop, now it does get high. It does reach 100 degrees core temperature Celsius. It then will throttle down to about 80 to 85 degrees or 80 something, somewhere around there, about 82, 83. It'll also go down to about, I would say, 3.2 to 3.5 on average. So you're looking in terms of the clock speed. So you're looking at something that's in a 17-inch laptop in a 16-inch body. You're looking at, they crammed a lot of power with that RTX 3060, the Core i7, 11900 into, again, a small chassis. So what do you expect is going to happen? The heat's got to go somewhere. They do use vapor chamber cooling in this one. They don't use it in the 15, which is over here. So it's a trade-off either way. It's a trade-off either way. And, of course, you're going to have to take it for what it's worth. All right, let's move that out of the way. All right. Okay. And so, again, you see this is the black one. This is the white. This is not available in white, and you can't get OLED on the 17. Again, that's just to remind everybody. I mentioned that yesterday. I know you weren't here, Doc. HP did not ship it yet. Hopefully this week they'll ship it. I ordered, for those wondering, the HP NV15 with the, I don't know if I have the 3060 or the 3050 Ti. I don't remember if the 3060 was available when I ordered it. It might be the 3050 Ti, but either way, I want to check it out. So that should hopefully ship, as soon as possible. But again, I don't know until it ships. It ships when it ships. What are my thoughts about the fact that the laptop manufacturers don't put good IPS panels in their budget laptops like smartphones and manufacturers do? They're saving money. That's one way they save money. They're not putting the more premium panels. If you're going to want a premium panel like you have on these, you're going to pay for it. That's why these are $3,000. There's a reason for that. OLED, IPS, UHD Plus. This is a 3.5K OLED. Like I said, if you want to play, you got to pay, right? Would I like it to be cheaper? Absolutely. I would love it for it to be cheaper, but they're not in it to lose money. They're in it to make money, right? So I can't expect them to put a premium panel in a budget laptop. It just doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. Cirx LL says my XPS 159510 was faulty. I had to return it, but they are making the process a nightmare. It's always like that with Dell. So a lot of criticism from Dell. I saw it in the comment section. I saw it on the in some of the comments and so forth. Yeah, I have not had the issues that people have had. Bottom line is, no matter how good these laptops are, there is no such thing as the perfect machine. And you've said that before, and I think that's a pretty correct statement. That's a great point. And Raphael agrees. Can you give us the link to the wallpaper? When I'm done, I'll put the link. When I'm done. Farid is asking, do you think OLED is ideal for laptops considering that they are susceptible to burn-in? I was hoping for micro LED. I have not experienced a burn-in so far. This is the OLED here. Let's move this one over. This is a great screen. There's a potential for burn-in. I have not experienced it. Reddit, people saying go to Reddit. There's nightmare stories. I haven't had this issue, but again, I only had the IPS ones from last year, so I'd have to see long-term what this one does. But so far, I've had it for, 3 to 4 weeks already, and I've not seen any burn-in on it, so take it for what it's worth. Raising the 9710 off the table using the X stand helps thermal throttling. That's a good point. Probably should get something like this over here, like a laptop arm that keeps it raised to help with the thermals. That's probably not a bad idea. Is the full HD option for the 15 a good screen to have? Yes, it is a very good screen. From what I understand, I don't have it, but their IPS displays are excellent, the whole line. They're really good displays across the board. Is it HDMI 2.1 in the dongle? I don't know if it's 2.1. I don't know if it says it here. They have the adapter. Let's see. It's 2.0. So the wedge-shaped okay, so they have a one USB-C to USB-A version 3.0 and HDMI version 2.0 adapter. That ships standard according to the press stuff here. So 2.0, not 2.1 on that adapter that's in the box. Hopefully that answered your question. That was from, I hope I don't butcher your name, Sviatslav. Can we assume if you don't max the brightness on an OLED laptop that you won't have burn-in? I don't know. I haven't experienced burn-in, so when I do, I will let everybody know. I think the key to the burn-in is keep a black background, of course, and the refresh, and let the don't let it stay stagnant too long. I think it automatically like puts on a screensaver every few minutes or whatever, so it helps refresh it. So, but I use it normally. I haven't babied it, and I have not had any screen burn-in. I'm at max brightness. I love these things searingly bright, and it is a bright OLED display over 400 nits. Yes, Thunderbolt 4 on this, Fareed. It does have Thunderbolt 4. It has, on the 17, it has 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. On this one, there are 2 on this one, 1 USB 3.2 on that one as well, on the 15. I'd love to see a live stream or review about Windows 11 from your channel. I already did that. A couple of weeks ago, I did one. It's on my channel. It's live. It's a replay, rather. Check it out. I showed you the preview. I'm on the Windows Insider program, and I did put it on a Dell XPS 139310 with that OLED display, so check it out. Okay, so George prefers a stand to a cooling pad. Okay, you got it, Raphael. And you're talking about the cooling pad with the thermals makes about a 5% difference. So you have a couple options to try to cool it. Keeping it off the table or the desk like I have here with my MacBook, this certainly helps with thermals. And I'm hearing the fans right now. You probably are not with this microphone, but these fans are going full blast on it. So it definitely needs, the Mac definitely gets hot, and there is some thermal issues. All right, 9710 with 3060 has BIOS settings for discrete video output instead of Intel GPU. Okay. All right, that's good to know. I didn't go into the BIOS. I probably should. You know, Fareed, I don't know if I would pick Linux, Mac OS, or Windows 11. I'm not a huge Linux user, so I probably would eliminate that, although people love it. Mac OS and Windows are probably, I go back and forth. I'm using both of them. So it's between those two. Hey, good to see Nadine. How are you? We haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Okay, so Ravi's bringing up another one that people have been talking about. I touched upon this earlier in the show. Numeric keypad missing on this. I would go to an alternative, which is the best gaming for color correction with big screen, Book Pro 15. LG Gram 17. I didn't review the 17 of this year. I did last year. And the HP Envy laptop 17 or any other. The Galaxy Book I was not crazy about. I did the Pro 360 and I was not crazy about it. Check out my review. As far as the Gram, I only reviewed last year's. I didn't review the new one. So I don't want to comment on laptops I didn't review. And then the Envy 17 I'm going to drop my full review hopefully this week. Out of all of them, the Envy's pretty good. I got to say, I've been very happy with that. And the color correction is very good on that. We're going to get more into that very soon in the full review. So, Ravi, stay tuned. That's coming. I promise you, we're going to get more into that. So your 9700 has only 2 hours of battery. How can I help this? Reinstall Windows. It depends. What are you doing with it that you're only getting 2 hours? Again, it depends on what you're doing with it. You should get more than 2 hours. 9700s from last year. Maybe you have a faulty battery. I don't know. By the way, you should do a review on the Linux laptops like the Slimbook and the System 776. That might be a great suggestion. I know I'm so right now inundated right now. It's hard for me to do anything. Sharkfin Tech. Hey, Andrew, I'm not the biggest Dell fan, but I'm dropping in to show some love and support. Thank you, Sharkfin Tech. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, the takeaway I get is that the Dell has been very polarizing. Dell in general has been very polarizing. It's a disappointing. I like Dell. I think they make really premium stuff here, as you can see here. Look, people are going to like their brands. They like HP. They like Lenovo. So it's just, I don't have one favorite or the other. If it's a good laptop, I'm going to give it a good review, right? If it's not good, I'm going to tell you it's not good. Like the Envies, you like the Envies. A lot of people like the Envies. A lot of people like the ThinkPads. And I'm going to be hopefully getting that soon, the X1 Extreme Gen 4. And by the way, according to Michael, it can now be ordered. So maybe we'll drop a link for that. I'm waiting on Lenovo. I can't keep going out of pocket for this, but I will hopefully get that soon. So if anybody orders it, let me know, because that is one that I have my eye on for a while. Battery calibration might be the way to go. Oh my God, you moved to Washington. I think you mentioned that on your social media. So congratulations on the move. I know how that can be. It can be very exhausting. I wish you the most best success over there in Washington. So we were taking a look at these. These are the XPS 17 9710. This is the Dell XPS 14 9710. Really nice stuff, people. Right now we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I think we're going to call it a day. I'm a little bit tired. I did one yesterday, so you can always go to watch that replay as well as this one. This one will be up. I don't know if it'll stay in 1440p, 60 frames per second, because it seems like once I'm done, they take it off the 60 frames per second. So I'm not really sure what's the deal on that. But let's wrap it up here, people. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Thank the moderators for showing up and being here. Great comments, great questions. The chat was really orderly today, really good stuff, on point, and I want to thank you. It was a good turnout as well. So I have a lot coming up this week. I do have the review of the XPS 17 9710. I have my unboxing and first look video of my HP Pavilion Arrow 13 that we took a look at yesterday in my live stream, so check that out. I have that video coming as well, and a lot more, people. So you want to make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell. A lot more great stuff is coming up. So until next time, people, I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.